Hello everyone, this side Manish Guliani. In this video, I am going to cover your first unit of UGC Net Management. These are the topics of first unit. As you can see, whole unit is divided into three parts. First part is management part, second part is managerial economics, and third part is business ethics and CSR. So in this video, I will cover first 5 points so that your whole management unit will be covered. In my second video, I will cover managerial economics and business ethics and CSR part. So let's start with the meaning of management. As meaning of management can be classified under three heads: as a process, as a discipline, as a noun. So let's discuss the meaning of management as a noun. As a noun, it simply means group of managers, means group of people like top level managers, middle level and low level managers. Second is management as a process, simply means functions of management. As you know, there are mainly five functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So you consider the functions of management as a definition of management as a process. Third one is management as a discipline. It also known as subject of management, means you have to consider management as a subject. So that's the meaning of management as a discipline. Let's take an example of yourself. As you are preparing for UGC NET, so first of all you have to treat it UGC NET as a subject. Just like subject, you have to collect various notes, you have to watch those videos, you are connected to UGC NET, you have to search some sites which provides you information related to UGC NET. So means you have to consider as a subject. So that's the meaning of management as a discipline. Next one is process of management, also known as functions of management. There are mainly five functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So I don't think so I have to explain all these functions in detail. Being a management student, you should know what is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Let me explain in brief. Planning simply means deciding in advance what to do, when to do, how to do. So planning means determining your courses of action. Second one is organizing. Organizing simply means under this you have to assign authorities, responsibilities. You have to divide whole work into small part. Then you have to define this one is superior, this one is subordinate. Means you have to arrange all the activities, all the resources, coordinate with the organization. That means organizing. Third part is staffing, means related to recruitment and selection part, means appointing right person at right job. Fourth one is directing. Directing simply means issue guidelines to your subordinate. It includes motivate your employees. You have to play a role of leadership. So all tasks should be done under directing. Next one is controlling. Controlling simply means compare your actual performance with the expected performance, then find out the deviation. In one word, if I have to explain, controlling simply means monitoring and evaluating your all outcomes. This is all about process. Then theories and approaches of management. So all theories classified under three heads. One is classical approaches, neoclassical approaches, and modern approaches. Under classical approaches, first approach is theory of scientific management. This theory is given by Frederick Taylor, F.W. Taylor, in 1910. The main purpose of this theory to increase the employee productivity, to increase the employee efficiency, to economic efficiency. This theory believes on that employees motivated by one factor, that is money. Means according to Taylor, money was the key incentive for working. That's why he introduced differential piece rate system. Means fair day's wages for a fair day's work concept. And this theory is applicable on low level management, not top level management. Or plus, this theory is not universal applicable to all types of organization. This theory is applicable on specialized organization. So this is all about scientific theory of management. Next one is Henry Fayol administrative management theory. This theory is also given in 1910 by Henry Fayol. And Henry Fayol, also known as father of management, he has given 14 principles, and these all principles applicable on all types of organization. It's a universal applicable. That's the basic difference between scientific principle and Henry Fayol principle. Next one is Max Weber bureaucratic theory. This theory given by Max Weber in 1900. Now this theory believes every organization should follow a organization structure, some rules, regulation, and every employee should follow that rules, that organization structure. So that's the main crush of this theory. So this is a basic difference between administrative to scientific. Bureaucratic theory, scientific theory, I already told you, main focus on employee efficiency and applicable on low level management. Administrative management laid on 14 principle and applicable to all types of organization. Under bureaucratic management theory, define various rules, strict rules, regulation, define organization structure, and every employee should follow that organization structure, follow that rules. These are the difference already explained. Next one is neoclassical approach. Under this, there are mainly two theories: human relation movement and behavior system. Human relation approach given by Mayo. Now, as per this theory, employee is not motivated by money, he is also motivated by the human relation, because employee is a social animal. Every employee, every man is a social animal. He needs some relatives, some colleagues with whom he can share his happiness, feelings. So these are the various factors, these are the various human relation, these are the some important factors that affect employee efficiency. Ki every employee not affected by the money is also affected by the human relation. So this is one of the main factor that affects our employee productivity. This is the comparison table between Henry Ford and F.W. Taylor. Already explained the difference between these two. Next one is system management theory. System management theory simply means this theory offers an alternate approach to the planning and management of the organization. Means this theory believes on every factor is important. Means under this approach you have to consider every inputs that you obtain from the environment. These are the various inputs that affect our outputs and provide the information to your management. Means you have to identify all factors. Reason being your business operate in external environment. You have to consider business as a system. So you have to consider all the inputs that affects your output and the information about inputs, that these are the inputs that affect our output. So you have to collect all information about each input, then send convey the same information to the management. So that's called system management theory. Consider each and every element that affects your output. Last one is contingency management theory, also known as situational theory. Under this theory believes that no one management approach suits every organization. Means there are several external or internal factors that will ultimately affect the chosen management approach. Means in simple words, if I explain, there is no one specific technique for managing an organization. Every problems need different solution and you have to react different. So under this approach, every problems need different leadership style. You can't say same leadership style applicable to all types of problem. Some problems need bureaucratical leadership style, some problems need autocratic leadership styles. So this theory believes that no single technique applicable to all types of problem. Every problems need different techniques. So under this you have to consider the situational factor, you have to consider the leadership style that vary from situation to situation, and you have to create the relationship between styles and situation. Next topic is manager roles and skills. Being a manager, we have to perform various roles. Some roles are interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decision role. Interpersonal role, we have to maintain relation with the person, employees, outside person. So under interpersonal role, we have to perform various three roles: figurehead role, leader, or license. Figurehead role simply means under figurehead, the manager performs various ceremonial tasks and symbolic duties as head of the organization. You have to attend various ceremony related to your organization. Plus, you have to perform various tasks like signing of documents as a head of the organization. So that's the task of figurehead. Second one is leader. Leader simply means you have to motivate your employees. You have to develop relationship with your subordinates as a leader. So this is the task of leader. Last one, license. License simply means develop and maintain a network of external contacts. Means you have to maintain relation with the outside parties, because you act like a bridge between the external parties and a company. Second one is informational roles. Now informational roles Under informational roles, you have to perform three roles: monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. Now monitor simply means कि under this role you have to gather external or internal information that is relevant for your organization, means gathers all the external internal information relevant to the organization. Now as a disseminator simply means transmits factual and value based information to your subordinates, means transmit actual information, not fake information, and value based information to your subordinates. Spokesperson simply means communicate to outside world on performance and policies of your organization. You have to communicate, you have to convey your all the policies, your performances of your company to outside world. Next is decisional roles. Now under decisional roles, we have to play a role as an entrepreneur, and entrepreneur simply means managers as an entrepreneur are initiator, innovator, problem discoverers, and designer of improvement projects that direct and control change in the organization. Second one is disturbance handler. As disturbance handler, you as per name says, the manager react to situation that are unexpected, such as mass absenteeism, resignation of your subordinates, losing of your customers. So you have to react on this situation, how to handle this situation. Third one is resource allocator. A third decisional role is that of resource allocator, means who will get what. You have to decide, you have to allocation of your resources, scarce resources. Last one is negotiator, means finally managers are negotiator. The manager negotiate with customers, suppliers, etc. And next topic is managerial skills. These are the skills we required. One is technical skills. Technical skill simply means knowledge and proficiency in activities including methods, processing, and procedure related to your technology. Then human skills mean ability to work with people, cooperative effort, teamwork, and participating environment. Conceptual skill means ability to see the big picture. Diagnostic skill simply means ability to determine by analysis the nature, circumstances of particular situation, ki how you react, how to define this particular situation. If you face any you can say any adverse situation, if you face, then how you perceive that situation, that's called diagnostic skills. Now the functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling all